Chapter 4. The Teaching of Mary. Inside the humble home of Joachim and Ann, the atmosphere was filled with warmth and love. The couple, now parents to the newborn Mary, doted on their child with tender affection. Joachim, unaware of his daughter's divine destiny, held her in his arms like any loving father would. Mary, though gifted with the power of intellect and speech from birth, revealed none of this to her parents. Instead, she responded to their love with smiles and gentle touches, her tiny hands reaching for Joachim's face or clasping his fingers. In the quiet of night, while her parents slept, Mary would kneel in prayer, her lips moving silently as she communed with the divine. As she grew older and began to walk, she would take the hands of her mother and father, guiding them with quiet wisdom far beyond her years. She would release their hands only to extend her tiny fingers toward a butterfly, which would alight upon her, its delicate wings brushing her cheek. When Anne guided little Mary through the winding streets of the village, the child, who was scarcely 3 years old, would often pause at the sight of someone in need. With a quiet determination that belied her tender age, Mary gently slipped off her soft shawl and carefully draped it over the shoulders of a frail, sickly figure huddled on the cold ground. Her tiny hands moved with a deliberate kindness, as if she understood the weight of her small gesture. At mealtimes, Mary would sit with her modest portion of food, her wide eyes innocent, glancing around at those who had nothing. Without hesitation, she would divide her meal, taking only the smallest bites for herself and offering the rest to the hungry souls who crossed her path. Her selfless acts, so pure and unassuming, left an indelible mark on the hearts of those who witnessed them. When giving alms to the poor, she would kiss their hands, and when possible their feet, praying fervently for their souls. "Lord God," she would whisper, "have mercy and favor on those in need." On more than one occasion, Anne would find her small child kneeling in prayer, her hands clasped tightly, her face lifted to the heavens. Mary's prayers were filled with humility and devotion. "God Most High," she would say, "I cannot praise thee with thy worthiness due. I am not even a glimmer in thy glory and magnificence. I am to serve thee well, my Lord, and I know that soon the time for me to leave this home will come. I am most ready and impatient to enter the house of service. I ask thee to inspire the hearts of my parents to fulfill thy holy will, so that I may begin the task given by thee to me." At the same time, Anne was given a vision. She saw herself back at the moment of Mary's conception, kneeling as the angel Gabriel delivered God's message. Then she saw herself bringing her child to the temple, where Mary would live and be taught by holy men and women. Joachim, too, received the same vision. Together they understood what must be done. The vision became reality. Joachim and Anne walked through the streets of Jerusalem, Mary between them, her small hands clasped in theirs. As the temple came into view, Mary released their hands and walked ahead, her steps steady and sure. Joachim prayed, his voice heavy with sorrow. "Almighty Lord, with much grief, we do as you ask. We return this child to you, our daughter, your daughter." Anne's heart ached as she added her own silent prayer. "She is your child, my precious Lord. She will carry forth the word as you have destined. Such piety and profound humility, so apparent in this small being, I have never seen before. I return her to you and pray I have regarded her as you have so instructed me." Mary too prayed silently. "Dearest Father, I feel both sadness and joy, for I leave two so dear and tender that my heart feels wounded, yet it pounds with elation, for now I shall learn to serve you as you so deserve." God's voice filled the space, gentle yet commanding. "Come, my beloved, come to my temple and seek what your heart so desires." 15 steps led to the entrance of the temple. A rabbi came down to greet them and took Mary's hand, guiding her onto the first step. With his permission, Mary turned and knelt before Joachim and Ann. She took each of their hands, kissed them, and placed them on either side of her face, closing her eyes. Tears streamed from her parents' eyes, but no words were spoken. Releasing them, Mary turned and walked up the remaining steps without assistance or looking back. The angels who had been with her since birth ascended the steps alongside her. The doors closed behind them all.